What if fans could do more than just stream their favorite artist song? What if they could invest in it and actually earn when that artist blows up? There's a new wave of startups that are turning music into a marketplace where fans can buy shares in songs and artists can stay independent while raising funds for their craft. But here's the big question. Does this new model truly empower creators and fans? Or are we turning artistry into another stock exchange? I'm Gabrielle Michael, and this is Tech Question Special. Joining me on the show is one of the people who has actually lived this music evolution, if I dare say. He's not just been behind the boards, he's obviously been outspoken about the cracks, the systems, and the promise of what comes next in Nigerian music. With me today is Solomon Oyenyi, widely known as Obaksolo. He is a legendary Nigerian producer whose career spans the rise of modern Afrobeats, and of course, he served up hit records for artists like Timaya and the late Kathy, of course. He's also been vocal about industry issues, from royalty fights to the lack of recognition for producers. And today we get to hear the story, or rather, pretty much the sound behind the story and looking at the future of music and Afrobeats, especially in Nigeria. Welcome to the show, K-Seller.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me, and I hope I have fun, or I hope I'm able to pass my message well in the right way that will actually add value to the reason of this interview.
All right, so let's just dive straight into it. Okay, so we understand that for you, you began in the era of when we used to have more like, should I say, vinyls or pretty much cassettes. Okay, we had the radio and the physical sales where people used to jump on the street actually to push out their network and all. So the question is, now you're obviously producing in a world of streams, and when we are seeing algorithms and even global playlists, when you look at that shift, what would you say has been gained and what exactly has been lost? Were there any fears or pretty much hopes that you've seen been actualized so far?
If you ask me, there's been no fear. I'm one of the few people who have emphasized days like this to come because some set of people have actually, in a large way, they have tried to monopolize the industry, the game itself, and because they've done this over the years, I've always said it that I know that a day will come whereby we will need, there's going to be a shift and a shake in it. Now, the part that I actually miss is the energy that people pull into it before. At that time, there was so much hard work you need to put before putting out your content because it's a direct marketing. It's where you can't do fluke. When you do fluke, they tell it to your face and you return back to do it. But now, people just drop what is not what I can call low content based stuffs, and they still drop it on the DSPs and all every form of promotions that they have, and it flies like that. So for me, it's one of the problems I've had, and I feel that's that I've missed, whereby there's a set of people who can vet your sound and tell you this is good to go and not good to go. But now everything flies. And now this DSP has become a dumping ground where people just dump their sound. And that's the reason why for a long time now, you've been hearing people cry about not being able to make so much back, and why they've not been paid the right way, but because a lot of people just drop what I call crappy on the DSPs right now. So that part I have missed is the real hard work. Now the new part that I enjoy is the fact that there's no gatekeeping anymore, whereby because these people don't belong to your clique or these people do not belong to your body, they cannot have their sound or their materials and their content out there. But that is the part that I do not like. I mean that I'm happy about now that people can actually can get their sound out there. But the part that I do not like is the fact that nobody's vetting. Every trash is getting out there now.
Interesting. Now, when we talk about trash, and you've talked about it, laid down your hopes and your fears, but let's talk about these new innovations that we are seeing different platforms and startups investing in now, especially in the aspect of music. I mean, we've seen how tech has reshaped pretty much everything, and it's doing a lot already in music. Now, there are good sides to it, and there are pretty much downsides. But our focus actually is on the aspect that we now have startups that allows fans to actually invest in an artist and invest in the music from an artist like they were investing in the stock market. All right, fans can now invest in songs and artists like they're investing in assets. If you had to pick, before we go into full consideration of this, well, let's just ask the very first question on the surface level. If you had to pick, does this give artists real power and ownership, or it just opens them to pretty much new vulnerabilities?
Hmm. For me, it opens them to the vulnerability of the craft, because like I said, there are processes that you are supposed to grow in. It's like, see, music is more or less like a class. It was more or less like a particular time Don Jazzy was telling me on how he picked up Ira Star. She had to grow in like more or less like a school, whereby try to school her on not just knowing how to sing, knowing how to address the media, knowing when to talk and not when to talk, know how to respond and all of that, and also her craft, especially when she's on stage. These are all elements that put you together as a celebrity. And if you do not get this right, no matter who is putting money on you, no matter the platform you are being given to, you are just going to be wasting their money. And at the end of the day, you are not getting anything major back for the people who are investing in you. So, for every investor who is happy and willing to do such, it's a good one. It's a welcome idea, because, in the real sense of it, a lot of people have kept in a long time and do not allow the industry strive. But if these kind of bodies are coming into the industry, it's a good one. But in the process of coming into it, they also need to get this other part on it. Like they say, talent is not enough. The same thing is attached to this. The talent is not enough. Those rudiments that I just talked about are part of which is needed to be put in their career. Because if it's not added to their career, you're just going to be making a whole loss. Because somebody who give them a microphone, they can sing, put them on the front of the stage, they cannot command the crowd. Then please, how do you make your money off their their shows and events? You get what I'm saying? So these are parts that should be learned. Some have to go to dance school to learn some moves. Some people, their body are very stiff. All they know how to do is just sing in the front of a microphone, and that part of the craft is you also learning how to dance, learning how to giggle, learning how to always smile when you see the camera. These are things that are rudiments that attach to creativity. And if all this is not attached into the talent you're trying to work on or invest on as your cup of tea.
Okay, so now when we're talking about investors and we're talking about fans investing in artists, we're not just talking about the likes of, yeah, we've obviously seen Don Jazzy do a lot in the music industry, investing in a whole lot of amazing artists that we love so much currently. But this is way more than having the big dogs like Don Jazzy getting to invest in music. I'm saying people on the street right now, okay? Fans can actually, it's not just about listening to Wizkid and Davido this time. It's more like they can listen to him and then they want to bet on the fact that they want to actually invest or place some sort of assets on him. It's more like we're turning fandom into investment, and that pretty much flips the scripts. Okay, instead of just liking an artist, fans have a stake in the outcome. Now, if we even want to focus on the whole artist fan relationship, because we know that globally, obviously not just in Nigeria, when it comes to having our favorite artist and how much we get to bond with them, how much we get to actually this whole artist's fan bond is on actually on another extreme level. We always want to actually defend our faves a lot. We want to actually, we see a lot of people go the extra mile just to actually defend an artist. But it's moved beyond that. It's moved beyond listening to their music. It's moved beyond nominating them for awards. But this time, we can actually place them like we're placing them on the stock markets, and we are investing in them, like we're doing so in other assets that we actually invest in the stock market. So, do you believe that this new investment model, do you think it strengthens this artist fan bond that we have, or it risks turning creative work into purely financial ventures? That instead of loving an artist, fans will start asking, why hasn't my investment blown yet? I mean, I put so much in Whiskey, I put so much in Davido. What's the investment that I'm getting? Because if your fan owns part of your song, can they ever truly be fans again? Or are they more like shareholders with expectations?
Okay, this is deep, but this is fine as well. Now, um, what is the longevity attached to that brand that you actually want to invest in? You have to look at that part as well. Now, a lot of factors affect these brands. Now, for example, let me digress a bit out of music. Now, for a product that a particular individual actually set up and is doing well in the market. Now, for such, you can tell that there are a lot of investors that are part of it, you know, more or less like, for example, like Access Bank. The person who is attached to the name Access Bank is late right now, but the bank is still floating and a lot is still happening with the bank. Now, the point is, this person you are talking about, it's not is a living thing. Let me use that word. A lot of things can go down that can probably cripple that brand. Now, if you see it as an investment whereby you're putting so much on, the brand is growing, the brand is big, like Whiskey FC, for example. What if when it gets to a point when it's not dropping anything major that is actually captivating the fans? What happens to your investment? What happens when Whiskey himself decide that I am not singing anymore? So what everybody now depend on is now has to do with what he has done over the years. Now going back to his old catalog to use his old catalog to actually get your investment back and all of that. For me, it needs to be thought about more. And another thing again is I think I also still want to do more findings myself to see is worth it. You know what I mean? Like it's really worth it because I'm loving this and I'm loving this part of this interview because this is what I think we've always wanted in the industry for a long time. When you, as a brand yourself, your artists realize that people can mortgage, they can put a loss on you as a brand, you will not see your career as yours anymore. You know that you're the mouthpiece of a lot of people, and a lot of people are actually having to put their hard-earned money to like put a bet on you. Like, okay, Whiskey is working on his new album again. Okay, I'm sure this one is gonna eat again and all of that. So I think I need to still do my little plus and minuses and see what I can say more on that aspect.
Yes, most definitely. Because this obviously, I think it doesn't necessarily affect just the Nigerian artist, okay? I think it obviously cuts across it because we're talking about ownership at the end of the day. This is not just about the Nigerian artist, it goes down to even the producers too. Who really owns the music? Are we talking about the fact that we're sharing ownership now with our fans just because they invested in our music? Because it's more like, yes, it's something, it's a new idea that is already taking place, but what if it begins to attract more attention? What is it eventually going to be like? But moving away from that, in past interviews, we've obviously heard you mention about the fact that producers are not recognized in Nigeria, and you've obviously detailed issue of royalty systems and infrastructure that has failed early careers. But if we're to focus right now in this century, given the rise of tech and fan investment opportunities like the one we just spoke about, do you see that shifting or it's simply evolving into a new system of invisibility for producers?
I think if the producers are carried along in this is a good one for them, because a lot of times producers have not been recognized for their hard works and all of that. Until recently, few of them are just beginning to understand that they have a share and to the publishing right and all of that, and now, even to the publishing rights, some still have to go through a lot of rigorous process before they're able to get the publisher to be able to claim all that belongs to them from every job they've worked on. Now, that's on the side. Now, on the other side again is the fact that I literally was I'm the producer that single-handedly started up adding the signature to the songs when you produce, because Nigerian producers are also not still recognized. Like even if you go on an interview and you will not open your mouth to say, "Oh, K Solo produced this song for me," you understand? I can as well in the song that I'm producing myself. I can put my signature on my beat. So when you are listening to the beat, you can tell that I, K Solo, produced it. So this has actually left a lot of producers bankrupt. You know, they work so much, the artist they are working on is doing so well, but they are not doing well at all. You know, this has led to that, and also made a lot of producers switch, not just from an artist producer, they switch into singing. The likes of Young John, the likes of a whole lot of a whole numbers have been singing because they are not getting enough, you know. But with this initiative, I believe that a lot of producers, if they can tap into it and see their own part and see the way it can work for them, they can maximize the opportunity and use it judiciously to their own advantage. It's a good one. And like I said, I'm going to be digging a little more deeper into this because I really want to be an advocate of this to people, to the creatives, because it's high time to realize that this is real life. A lot of people are still doing this music thing, this creative things, from comedy to skit making and all of that. A lot of them are still saying like, "Is what I love to do, is fun and all of that." But from the few ones that have been able to make money from the likes of the metal families, they've been able to make a lot of money and been paid in good amount of money, that some of them have built lives from it, you know, from YouTube and all of that too. So, but if they understand this part of their career too as well, and they can actually join in it, I'm sure they will enjoy it themselves. So.
Yeah, that's the rule, obviously. But now we focused a bit on the aspects of producers. But you've also mentioned the fact that, as much as you've mentioned the fact that you want to go do research about what this is all about to find out more details about
Mhm.
it. Let's say
And I
from
wouldn't, I
the
wouldn't mind,
little,
I wouldn't mind coming back on your show again and tell you what I feel more better at that time. At that time,
most
I'm very.
definitely,
At that time, I'll be hot. You see, I'm very calm today because I'm just trying to
you're very tough,
grasp.
actually.
Yes, I'm
Okay,
trying to
so I
grasp.
mean, if you're watching this, we got the very first, we got the very calm side of K Solo on the show today, actually, because I mean, he promised it to be hot, but he's going to actually have to come back, and then we get to see the real K Solo. So this
Yes.
one is just more like the calm one.
Yes, because I'm going to be giving it
Anyways,
hot, and at that time I already have
oh no,
all the old ideas. I've gotten all the old informations that I need to spread, and at that time I'm coming to give you, to tell you this is trash, or I come back
yeah.
and tell you this is the next breaker we need. But for now,
Okay,
let me
so
take it easy.
this is more like, yeah. So this is more like us giving a heads up now to all of the startup founders that are actually into these initiatives. You guys should obviously kick up your game right now before
Mm-hmm.
Solo jumps on your case.
Mm, mm.
Okay,
Yes,
so
because I might write
obviously
off some
we've
people that
seen.
some people business might not thrive again because I will go deep
Oh,
into it, because I
oh
understand that
no.
anybody who is running a business in the world wants to make profit, but in the process of it, the
Yeah.
transparency has to be very, very, very loud, and what and they are going to be
Yes.
getting must be also be pronounced, so that they can
Pronounced.
put in their hard work into it. And anybody who puts his hard work into something deserves to get their pay. Nobody must do mago mago for anybody. So for all of this is what I'm looking at it like. For anybody business that is trying to be creepy at the back end, we'll have issues.
All
You
right,
can
all
go on.
lights obviously will be shone in all dark places very soon. Okay, so many upcoming artists and fans, of course, face low streaming payouts and limited catalogs and weak monetization. When you talk about a model like the one I've obviously spoken to you about, of which you want to go do research, do you think this will actually address this ground level challenges for upcoming artists, or do you think that this is just built for artists that have already made it big, all right, that already have a head start in the game?
It will work more for the upcoming artists. Do you know why? Like I always say,
Why?
in the new age now, new age media, overtaking is allowed.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody has an access or has the key to making a hit or whatever. Right now, In case you need to know, let me tell you one new thing that is happening in the industry right now is the fact that the Northerners are waking up. Now, I've been clamoring about this for days right now, for weeks now, that my December I'm going to be celebrating it in the north, because the hits now that are taking over
Okay.
the internet is coming from the north, from Kaduna, and
The
that's shocking.
North. Yeah.
The new Gen Zs in Kaduna, they've
Yeah.
woken
Okay.
up.
Is this inspired by the whole Kigashi sound? Or so I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but there's this particular sound that's
Yes,
trending on
OG.
TikTok
His name is
that's making
OG
everybody
Abba.
go,
His name is OG Abba. You
okay,
understand? That's very
yes,
organic. Then there's another one called First Class. That one is so organic. See, a
okay,
whole lot of them like that. I can mention their names. I'm doing a documentary on them soon. I want to talk about them because I'm happy that the industry is switching from just saying that the industry is being pumped by Yorubas. And tell me who is the best male artist in Nigeria? Is a Yoruba boy. His name is Wizkid, or they say it's Davido. Or you tell me the biggest one, a female too. You see, it's Tiwa Savage or it's Yemi Alade. That has been working. It's been running for too long. And you see some certain Igbo artists that are doing well, like Flavor and all of, and the rest of them. I begin to want to learn some few lines in Yoruba because they feel like, okay, that's the way they can also get into the industry. No, and oh no. Now I'm happy that from the north, a language that people would not easily want to get close to, is coming into Lagos. And outside that fact, another aspect that has made that happen is the fact that Nigerian artists, like I said when I started, the introduction of the new age media, the DSPs, has made a lot of them very lazy. Now they keep ranzerosing, copycatting the same oath, the same sound, the same style of all of that. So they made the industry really boring. So when you see the like of that OG ABBA coming in with something fresh, people go get it. People go for it. So that's one part. So if this is going to work more for the young artists, because you know what? They are desperate. They go the extreme to make sure that they feed their fan base. These boys post like 7 times a day. They don't care about the algorithm. So the algorithm is the one bending for them now. So they control the narrative. So, but for the big boys, they just like, okay, some of them will just go to their account and unfollow everybody and put it on zero. All those things are fizzling out. I said to them now, it's fizzling out, it's not working anymore. You need to be very close to your fan base. Your fan base needs your love. They need see the industry is living back to the point whereby you need to do direct marketing. You must be able to communicate with your people. Now, you need to be close to your fan base that even if one or two of them are having their birthday, you can make birthday shout out for them and say happy birthday. That's how the fan base is growing right now. Because if you are not more close to them, you will fizzle out. All you just have is just the name. What is the name converting to money again? No. And for the fact that you are charging so much again, the investors or probably the show promoters would rather put their money on OG about this December. For them to get a whiskey on their stage, they'll probably be paying like nothing less than like 250,000 dollars to get a whiskey. You understand? But they will not be spending anything less than maybe just like $10,000 or $5,000 to get OG Abba, and it's on their stage, jumping everywhere. You get so a lot of things is happening now. They are getting themselves overpriced. You are too big. You are not feeding your fan base anymore. Some of them started having Telegram pages, WhatsApp pages, like where the fan base converse. Some of them, those pages are dead right now. They are being used for different things. I've seen people who have loved Whiskey from their own side and say, okay, I'm opening a page called Whiskey FC or thereabout. Many of them have converted the page. Some of them have not sold the page because they're not being carried along anymore. So you like it or not, this is where I said earlier enough that I need to do my research before I come and tell you that these people are worth investing in. You get so I probably will tell you it's worth investing in an OG Alba than wasting and than investing your money in a whiskey right now because OG Alba is very active. He understands that okay, this is business, it's a do or die affair. For the big boys, they don't see it as a do or die affair. They already have estates and all of that. They don't care any longer. So this is a part of it. So if you ask me, it's more favorable to these young ones. Talk about this to them. If I sit any one of them down and talk about this to them, they will buy this idea and they are going to be going for it. But talk to that boys, they're just like, bro, bro. So what are we talking about?
Okay, super interesting. Well, then I'm out of curiosity. I want to ask this. I mean, we can't say that when we have the likes of the OGs, the big cats, okay, the likes of Davido and Wizkid, when they pretty much started off,
Mm.
we can't say that they were not taking the fans along. It's always been a thing, but there's always this whole aspect of when they've moved into stardom, they've gone into fame, they're well known, those things kind of reduce. It's more like a normal thing that we get to see. I mean, it's more like, I mean, we are way too big for this. So what's the guarantee that
I
artists like this
disagree.
other
It's not a
upcoming
normal
artists will not
thing.
be doing the same thing when they get to that level?
I
Okay.
disagree. I disagree. I disagree. Now, the problem with those two you mentioned, Whiskey and David, is the fact that, see, a Whiskey is more even on that part for me to actually accuse of that behavior more than a David. A David is a boy born from a rich home, and he also is like a poor boy. He Every brand has worked with David, none of them ever regrets. David is the one that would put up a post and still push the hashtag of the company is supporting or is repping. A whole lot of artists, I know them that are ambassadors for a lot of companies, and they do not even talk about it. They do not. In fact, it's the brand that themselves that will be creating billboards, doing all of that around, letting people know that okay, this person is our brand. This is. So what are you branding and why are you a brand for a company and you cannot put them on your head? You cannot. How can 3 months go? There's no posts of them. A whiskey, a Davido, you will see him at every event with a bottle of Martell. Please, did they pay him for all of that? It's only showing that okay, is worth working with, you know. And now talking about that, thinking about okay, let's talk about the fact that maybe many of them did that before and later they later changed. There's some people that don't do it. E.g., Adekunle Gold. Adekunle Gold as a community. He has gone to the point where Adekunle Gold as a community that he sent emails to back. What does that simply mean? Meaning that he does not stress himself, and that's why I see when he drops a song or an album, he has a soft landing because he has a lot of fan base. He sends mails to on a regular. Check it up on them. Hey guys, how you doing? I hope you guys are not missing me. I'm gonna be dropping a song very soon. You feel like you are part of him. So me, I'm a very realistic person. A brand can probably say that okay, they are not trying to they are working for towards a futuristic goal whereby when it gets a particular time they can get some things done and all of that. Me, I'm realistic. Any business you want to put your money into and you cannot even see the ray of light, and somebody is telling you that the light is at the end of the tunnel, many times you get to the end of the tunnel and you will not see light too. So don't waste your time. So for me, I'll still say it. To me, the young ones are still the one on the highest path for this. Bring them into it, they'll jump on it. And for the fact that I'm liking this is the fact that the DSP too are beginning to monopolize their stuffs now and making it feel like people cannot do things again without them. This must end. We need competitions in this game. We need people who are bringing fresh ideas that people can jump on. I saw a particular guy market says that his marketing is song. His song you cannot find it on any DSP. That if he finds it on any DSP, he's going to be suing off the DSP because he's not the one who puts it up. Now he has a small gadget like looks like a mobile phone like this. All you need to do is once you purchase it, you purchase the song forever. Either you put it on your system or you connect it to your phone. It just downloads on your phone. You now own access to the song fully. It doesn't care about you going back to stream and stream over the time and all of that. But what it knows is once you have it and you have put it, you already have a code on access to it for yourself. Nobody else can have it, or else another person purchases it himself. And you like it or not, it's making money from it. A stand alone, no. What is he trying to break? He's only trying to break the barrier of this monopoly. Like only one set of people now have a group of that this I should be done. It should not be done. So this is a welcome idea, and I'm liking it. But like I said, I'm gonna do more findings. But for me, it's a welcome idea.
Okay, super interesting. But then I'm out of curiosity. I want to ask this. I mean, we can't say that when we had the likes of the OGs, the big cats, okay, the likes of Davido
Feel
and
free.
Wizkid, when they pretty much started off, we can't say that they were not taking the fans along. It's always been a thing. But there's always this whole aspect of when they've moved into stardom, they've gone into fame, they're well known, those things kind of reduce. It's more like a normal thing that we get to see. I mean, it's more like, I mean, we are way too big for this. So what's the guarantee that artists like this other upcoming
Amapiano
artists
have
will
been
not be doing the
overrated
same thing
and it's smelling.
when they get to that level?
Very smelling.
Okay.
It's smelling. Because if you go to a South African club, they will play you 25 songs in less than 10 minutes, but you cannot tell that it's 25 songs that have been played because they have the same hook line, the same melody line, the same drive, the same shaker, the same thing, boom, boom, the same sound, lock drums playing. So please, how can you? I like Nigerians like to. I like the fact that Nigerians like to be creative and innovative and try to try stuffs. But I see anybody doing amapiano today as a lazy artist. It's the cheapest thing that even who just started music today can jump on. But you see Afrobeat. Afrobeat is wide. It carries so much branches that you can explore. Nigerians are not they're not done exploring it. And should I shock them? This same Afrobeat is what Flavor has been doing for over 15 years. And it's still relevant. It's still relevant. This same Afrobeat is what Wizkid has been doing for how long? Has Wizkid ever done Amapiano? Nah. And he's been holding his fans locked up on one same sound, which is Afrobeat. Check the same thing with Burna Boy. So the day I had Davido do, but what they call it, this same Amapiano, I was just like, why? So for me, if anybody smart enough, it's fine for you to have an album and maybe have just one amapiano, because you look at it like, okay, the style is trendy at a particular time. Now it's gone down. You can close your eyes and produce amapiano for any producer that will watch this. They will agree with me. You can close your eyes and produce an amapiano. So it's overrated because all they do, even in their songs, is repeat the same thing. Hebo, yeba, yeba, hebo, yeba. And they can do that for like 2 minutes. And people is just dancing and they're not listening to anything. They're just dancing to the beat. It's the beat. It's overrated. You cannot be creative doing amapiano. You can only be creative when you are doing Afrobeat. Afrobeat is wild. It's wild. Out of Afrobeat, you bring juju music. It's out of Afrobeat, you bring you bring Marcos, you bring I like music. Out of it a lot. He has one unifying sound. But on a piano, it cannot be cracked into. You cannot sing an R&B and use a piano. You cannot sing reggae, use a piano. You cannot sing, but Afrobeat, you will create different genre of music from Afrobeat. So please, in case anybody wants to hear, I know disrespect to South Africans is your sound. You can drink and eat over it. Please, don't fight again. Don't worry yourself. That's one major thing you have won over the years. Let them have the win. So, and for Nigerians that are still going there, stop disgracing yourself. You have a very big brand that is called Afrobeat. Enjoy it. Inside it, the Fela Afrobeat is out of it too. Fela Afrobeat is Afrobeat. Now, the one that we have that everybody can steal from is called Afrobeats with the S behind of it. So, have fun. It's melodious. Afrobeat can go on R&B, can go on slow music. It can go. Even the gospel people are already on Afrobeat. So, for me, it's not a crime for you to want to experiment Amapiano, but the most overrated is Amapiano. Please, let them take the Amapiano we don't want again and leave us with our Afrobeat. Thank you. God bless you.
Okay, so but when we talk about things like this, especially in the aspect of this model where fans are investing in their favorite artists like they're doing in the stock markets, don't you think this is going to be more like asking questions around the whole aspect of the talents? It's more like music now stops being about talent, but about marketability. It's about more like who looks more investable than obviously looking at how better they sound.
Okay, quick one. Anybody who sound better is actually more investable in, because in the real sense of it, the industry is changed. Music is changed right now. People do not follow noise anymore. They follow real sound, good music. So once you have a good music, definitely you will have a good fan base. And also, with no disrespect to anybody, the people who actually are more interested in investing in fan base are people who appreciate good music. So for them who appreciate good music, I am sure they will go for the ones that are more talented than just the ones that have the big name.
In spite of all of this, especially when we're looking at when fans are beginning to invest in music artists, like they're investing in the stock market, the model we obviously talked about, don't you worry that if this is more like a thing now, we won't pretty much appreciate talent? We're obviously looking at the artist that is more marketable. It's more like who looks more investable than who sounds better.
Okay, so I feel the ones with the talent at the end of the day will strive more because they own a major part of the industry. The industry has changed from the time whereby you can do things with money and buying this with money and buying that with this. Now it is gone to the point whereby the talent will speak more better than any other thing, you know. So for me, the big name will not do it at the end of the day. It still boils down to the ones with the talent that will, at the end of the day, will strive.
So we've talked about on we've seen the influence of streaming, we've seen NFTs, and of course we've seen AI produced beats. But I want to ask, what still scares you? Okay, and what still scares you, or what excites you about Afrobeats in the next 5 years?
Okay, what scares me, I said it, is the importation of this kind of idea and also the DSP scares me a lot because a lot of people are they are not working hard anymore. In fact, right now, some are actually depending on AI to write songs to do all of that right now. The talent is really reducing more than the hard work. You know, that scares me a lot. And that might write off Afrobeat. Plus, the West are trying so hard to get into Afrobeat and get that our sound out of us and make it theirs. If we are not careful, we might finally lose it out to them. And but I'm happy that this is coming in because it has disenfranchised the people who are actually gatekeeping and not letting the talents fly, you know. But I feel with likes of me and others that are still available, we will not rest. We will still criticize good songs that comes out, and the ones that are bad, we will tell you this is crappy. No matter the amount of money you have for the media, no matter the money you have for publicity, it is scrappy. Then that will work. It should also help us in a way. And gradually, the good thing is the fact that, like I said, the fans are beginning to understand good music and loving good music. So once a good music is a good music, they jump at it and they love it. So that can work. And my joy again, like I said, is the fact that no more gatekeeping. The fear is the fact that we are losing our originality to the West, and the guys that are on point are not working hard anymore. They are saying like it's an easy tax right now. They've seen music to be what we can flex about and all of that. So that is my fear.
Okay, this has been really in a very exciting and I must say insightful conversation with you, K Solo. I have most definitely learned a lot. And it's not just about learning a lot, it's just been more like it's been more of eye opening. There's been a lot of things or perceptions that we've had about the Nigerian music scene, and it's been more of exposed. And I think I would totally agree with you on this one if I were actually supposed to be more of a bit biased about my personal opinions. The aspects where you talked about Amapiano being overrated, I am tired. At this point, I am tired. Can we just do something else? Can we just come up with something else?
You will see a DJ will come out and say, "Bro, I'm a DJ, I'm a DJ." And I say, "Okay, come. This is the turntable. Mix for me. Let me see what you can do." Do you know what? He goes straight. He mixes into an Amapiano because the sound are on the same tempo. So he just mix 2 songs, 3 songs, 4 songs, and you call yourself, you are not a DJ. You are not a DJ. You don't call yourself a DJ when what you do is Amapiano.
But don't you think this is a concern of what the fans want? Because we get to always hear this a lot. It's not just from the fans themselves, but it's more like the artists. You hear them say things like, people just want to listen to beats.
It's not the fans. It's not the fans. It's the lazy content creator, the ones who are, it's what you are producing. Let me give you an example. For example, people say the Coca-Cola you buy in America, the way it tastes is different from the one like the way it tastes in Nigeria. Now, it's not the function of the fan. Is that what we want? No. I've traveled, I've tested that one day and tested this one year. If I had other people like me that do not want this one to taste this way, we will rebel, we'll fight against that. You get what I'm saying? So, but now, there's one word that people always forget. Nigerian musicians, artists, our creators in the world, they are like prophets. What you say is what people, they go for. The fans can dictate to you. The fans never dictated to Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson had his own ideology and he sent it, he spread it in music. People didn't like it at the beginning. He started building a formidable community and it became big. He's gone, but Michael's space still grows like he's alive. Till date, nobody has released a pop music in the world that has brought down Michael's album till date. Imagine you that you are alive. You are fighting an album of somebody who is late and you've not been able to defeat it. That's what a good job does. That's what a good job does. So if you see yourself as a prophet right now, someone like Johnny Drew is not following the template of everybody. He's creating his own empire. And every time Johnny Drew has a show, he sells out. Because you know why? He has a community. But because we're in a black part of the industry of Nigeria that is not growing, that's the reason why it looks like it's just in a circle. But he has one of the strongest fan base. Now his fan base is bigger than a lot of big names. Should I shock you? Because those big names, they share fan base, social media fan base. Donny Drew do not have social media fan base. He has real humans, real people. If the video has a show, you will see it locked up. Do you know the average people you see there? Whiskey fans. Do you know what they come to do? They come and laugh. Oh, they did not get this right. They did not get that right. They are sharing fan base. But if you say today, Whiskey don't want to have a show, no, the video fans should go there. You will see that the hall will be empty. They are sharing fan base. So for you to know those artists that carry those mad fan base are people like Johnny Drew that do not share fan base with any one of them. They have real fan base, not those mirage that today they are watching, even in church, like people say in church, today they are watching Redeem. Tomorrow morning on their phone, they are watching Jerry Eze. Next tomorrow, they are watching this. Those are the fan base that a whole lot of these big people have. These big names. That's the fan base they have. So forget the Grammys, forget the awards they are giving you. If you do not impact these people, you do not impact your fans in a positive light, after the time that you cannot sing again, you are gone. After the time that they cannot hear your voice again, you are gone. So you need to actually invest in your career and see yourself that you are a preacher. People are following you. So once you have all of this, you are good to go. So trust me, any ideology anybody has, I don't care. But my own is, you see, this word I've said today will not be erased, and we'll come back to it someday.
Most definitely. All right, thank you so much, Kesolo. It has been an absolute pleasure having you on Tech Fashion Special today, and we do hope actually we were able to entertain you with our questions today.
I want to come back. Oh, I've said it. I want to come back.
You want to
Maybe
come back? Most
give me some
definitely, we're
few
going to have
weeks
you again.
to do my
We're going to have you
findings. I
again.
want to come back.
So, some few weeks,
Yes.
okay? Your findings. All right, most definitely. We'll be looking forward to having you again on the show. But for now, thank you so much. We do hope you have a pleasant day. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Money meets melody, emotion meets investment. Now, that's the title of Africa's music industry is working right now. Whether this is the future or just a phase, it's forcing everyone to ask who really owns the sound. So, what we've explored today isn't just about music, it's about ownership, community, culture, and capital. And of course, huge thanks to a guest for sharing these insights. Now, if you're watching, I'd love you to drop your thoughts. Would you invest in your favorite artists, or is music something that shouldn't be on the stock market? Until next time, keep evolving, keep owning the story, and keep watching Tech Question TV.